My name is Dr. Libby Weaver, and it is a joy for me to be here at the Wellbeing Festival in London. For a little bit of background about me, which I always think helps people understand my work a bit better, I went to university for 14 years, which I know makes me sound really thick and like I probably failed everything, but I loved learning very much and I still do. So I originally studied nutrition and dietetics and then went on and did honours and then a PhD in biochemistry. So there's a lot of science back there. And then since then I've worked one-on-one with people for nearly 20 years. And that's essentially where the rubber hits the road. That's where you really get to see what makes a difference. So my focus is very much on women's health. Today my talk was about women's health, everything that women need to know, I guess, about how their body works. And my education as well as my clinical experience, the combination of that allowed me to create what I refer to as my 3-pillar approach to health, which is where I look at the biochemical, the nutritional and the emotional. So the biochemical part of it is essentially the inner workings of the body. So what is it that leads us to make stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol? What is it that drives us to produce estrogen and progesterone as women? And how do stress hormones interfere with our sex hormones? So when I refer to the biochemistry, that's essentially what I'm talking about. It's all those inner workings of the body. Then the second pillar in my work is the nutritional. That's where I explain to people the foods and the nutrients that are essential for the optimum functioning of all of those body systems. And then I probably become people's least favourite person when I talk about the foods, but particularly the drinks that can take away from the optimum functioning of some of those body systems. And then the third pillar is the emotional one, which is where I ask people to consider, why do you do what you do, even though you know what you know? And it's a question that kind of makes people's eyes roll around in the back of their head because it's not a lack of education that would lead a lot of people to polish off a packet of chocolate biscuits after dinner. No one does that thinking, oh, I'm going to feel so fantastic after I smash these. They don't really know why they do it. And it's essentially emotional reasons that lead us to do that. So my work brings those 3 pillars to life, and it's a joy, and that was part of what I shared today in my seminar this morning.
So this is really quite groundbreaking that you're bringing some very deep emotional work with people together with such amazing scientific research.
And it's what I love to see in action. So whatever we perceive, essentially we then have biochemical substances inside of us that get created from how we perceive things. So nothing in the world has any meaning until we give it meaning. And those meanings that we give it obviously are based on our joys and our challenges up until this point in time. So when I say to someone, tell me what stresses you, they might say their email inbox, whereas other people will tell me their email inbox that there's an opportunity in every email. So what then gets created inside them biochemically, based on that perception, they're completely different from one another. So I like to say to people that the body is their best friend. We often see it as something that a lot of women will say, I feel like my body betrays me. It's not, it's there as your best friend. It's a barometer. It's constantly offering you information and insight. And when it gives us challenges, it makes us sad. It leads us to feel frustrated, for example. I get people to shift their focus and see the messages, the symptoms as gifts. And those symptoms are just asking us to eat, drink, move, think, breathe, believe, or perceive in a new way. So if we can see the parts of our body that sadden us or frustrate us as simply messengers, it can really help us shift the way we deal with health challenges.
This is absolutely incredible. How have people been responding to your approach?
So I feel like it does resonate for a lot of women because we often connect very much to the physical struggles we have. It might be PMS, it might be recurrent migraines, it might be challenges with fertility, it might be a bloated stomach. So they're very common things that I hear on a day-to-day basis that women are finding real struggle and real challenges with. So the other reason that I'm in London is actually because a book has just come out here. So it's been a #1 bestseller in both Australia and New Zealand. It's called Rushing Woman Syndrome. And today is the first day that I've actually seen it, the UK version of it, published by Hay House. So I'm here doing book signings and also launching it at my own event later in the week here in London. So very thrilled to share it. It helps women to understand really the effects of a never-ending to-do list on their health and the stress and the stress that we experience. So many of us experience on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't need to be that way. It was originally born out of my TEDx talk that I did, helping women to understand the effects of the consistent and relentless output of stress hormones on other aspects of their biochemistry, especially their sex hormones. So I feel that it really will resonate for a lot of women in this day and age.
How are you enjoying the Wellbeing Festival today?
It's so much fun. The audience was so receptive and they were so open. They were very grateful. I've met the most beautiful people. You walk past every stand and everyone greets you and smiles at you, and you can feel everyone's beautiful open hearts. It's very special.